This picture right here pretty much shows John Stewart's evolution, military, different rings that are not Green Lantern. But what if I told you he ends up getting just straight up abilities known as being the Ascended and scratching these Lantern rings out, for example. And despite him being a Black Lantern, ultraviolet, and all that good stuff, he basically was a Green Lantern at first, then ended up not being a Green Lantern, being Ascended physiology to where he doesn't need a ring to be powerful, become like a cosmic S-type being like this, then ends up losing all this cosmic power because, you know, DC likes temporary power, just like Marvel does. He still retains this ascended power, but not on a such cosmic scale where he's above Superman, Wonder Woman, and stuff, but rather just being a normal old powerhouse without any type of ring or nothing. Just for reference on how this video will go. I've done a video about John Stewart before on the channel, but you probably never thought you would see John Stewart in such a godhood state to where he's stronger than Superman, all our favorite heroes, and he's basically just a cosmic being right here at this point. Before I get into this crazy power-up stuff, I'm gonna get into his base state without this and just normal Green Lantern stuff. Did you know in newer comics, John Stewart has this ascended state to where he had to talk to the actual source itself? You know, the thing that's sometimes a wall, a flaming hand, and a turtle? Everything in existence knows him, the source. John Stewart is one of his ascended, which I'm going to get into later on in this video. But for right now, I just want to let you know this particular John Stewart is very special because out of all the John Stewarts in the Omniverse, multiple universes, you're the only one who's ever done anything like this. You absorbed the Godstorm. John, you're in direct contact with him. No other John Stewart in the Omniverse has done this. Green Lanterns in general are impressive. They are beings that can make constructs of light, especially out of their imaginations, and the might of them depend on their will. But when it comes to one of the poster boy Green Lanterns, John Stewart, even though there's a lot of Green Lanterns, he's one of the higher end Green Lanterns, along with characters like Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner. He has a lot of willpower, a ring that's using a concept to power it. And he's no stranger to the channel. On top of being a Green Lantern, he actually can fight. But it's really his will that allows him to accomplish such crazy feats of raw power output. Like the time when Martian the Manhunter was going Super Saiyan and messing everybody up, John Stewart was the Green Lantern to help restrain him, or along with having enough power to damage such a being, because he built something that allowed him to where he couldn't just go inside his head and mess him up. He's actually one of the lanterns that helped destroy an entire planet in this particular occasion. Has the blast power to blast back the entire league, can cause a tsunami, can kind of damage Kryptonians, damage cosmic S-type beings like Parallax with his willpower. His willpower even exceeded the ring capabilities because he created an entire solar system, can literally hold the Earth together. Him and other lanterns can also survive black holes. That's nothing new. Explosions of planets he can withstand. When it comes to the reaction speed of lanterns, the ring actually enhances their reaction speed and stuff because they can process things in a nanosecond. Stuff that actually has the power to destroy stars he can actually shield himself from and not die, even though he's right next to the massive star blowing up. All this stuff, he's okay. Him and Martian Manhunter are okay. Even in Rebirth continuity, along with the other powerhouse lanterns, they work together to fight Parallax. Stuff like this shows he's up there with the top tier poster boy Green Lanterns, or else why would he even be an aid of fighting this cosmic S-type being? He was strong enough to help hold down Parallax's arm when he was possessing somebody else, but I will admit this is definitely a team effort. You can literally see John helping restrain them, and they seem to make him yell in pain, and even blast them all together. It's moments like this I wish were animated, but yeah, it wasn't this simple. It took a lot of effort, and it was definitely a team effort. Despite me saying all this, which is not the first time I've said this on my channel, but despite him being military trained and him incorporating it into his Green Lantern fighting, currently in Rebirth, he's actually mightier than he's ever been. One could call ascended. If you want to get an idea of the raw power he has, during a flashback, he pretty much talking about how power corrupts and he doesn't want this ascension power or whatever, because he kind of reminisces on Parallax Hal Jordan and all the different stuff, to the point where he was literally trying to reject ascension. His general physiology ascend and being able to kind of damage Darkseid. His ascension, the source itself is talking to him, literally explains to him it's not some ring he can throw away. It's just him. You're ascended. That's his ability. For him to be able to do this to Darkseid, they call it his evolution. This mysterious guy is kind of acting like he knows what's up. He's already talking about how he's gotten stronger physically and stuff. Talking about he's either here to watch him save the universe or destroy it. They talk about how he's ascended. His body now draws its energy from fundamental cosmic forces. You'll only get stronger from here on out, and you are nearly impossible to harm physically. Goes as far as saying he feels like Superman right now. They talk about how Kryptonian bodies only collect solar energy. Nearly all cosmic forces can feed the ascended, which he is. Since he's returned, he's been drawing in 1 force, exclusively the one most familiar to him because he's used to being a Green Lantern, obviously. That's the force he's drawing in. Ascended John Stewart is a being that be helping fight the gods with gods and stuff. We see him do energy projection. Even though he's not necessarily a Green Lantern right here, he's ascended to the point he's drawing in energy from stuff. He's not necessarily that at the moment. Like, he's not necessarily a Green Lantern, but he's kind of got muscle memory, or he's used to that energy, I guess. So he kind of draws that energy in anyway, which is why his green energy still can shoot out of his hands. He can still do crazy amounts of blast power, or one could say energy projection, even if it's omnidirectional, and he can fly really fast. Blasting beings apart with his blast power. You can see, even if they team up on him, it doesn't really matter. Even when they knock him down temporarily, he still manages to get back up. He said it's really hard to be hurt permanently, really. But yeah, gets back up and starts shooting energy again, along with fighting alongside the deities with blast. Even goes as far as saying the classic quote for Green Lanterns, "My sight, let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light." They talk about his lore even more, talking about before everything, before life and death and matter and magic, out of the dark came the source. The cosmos churned, the forces danced with each other like threads on destiny's loom, which birthed the lords of chaos and order. And just a little after them, the gods old then new. Finally, out of the churning maelstrom of mundane life came the ascended. That's where you come in. They're talking about John Stewart. Ascended. You ascended a long time ago. He's like a god, new god, kind of, sort of, but it's complicated. They even say in narration that it's complicated. A role to play in his journey, very cryptic stuff to keep you reading longer because they want us readers to keep reading. You can still, he does the classic stuff like flying. He rides hard for his lantern core, making constructs, and even when beings try to say his destiny is otherwise, he wants to make one thing straight, that no matter what this destiny stuff say, he's a Green Lantern, and that's what he claims. I mean, look, he does a lot of similar stuff just without the ring. Omnidirectional attack, blasting from multiple directions. In his ascended state, he can absorb energy. This comic book had cataclysmic stakes. I'm talking about everything will be destroyed type of states unless he contains it type of stakes. His cosmic awareness was so crazy he could kind of perceive a lot of different things on other planets as well. He could perceive different events unfolding. The whole point of this is because he needed to choose his future state, which could all be possible. You see him getting blasted and absorbing all this energy. He's seeing all this kind of stuff like this of himself, of all the different possibilities, like bringing folks back, possible future stuff he can fix, apparently stuff that would consume the whole universe. Stuff like that he ate, or it ate him. Not sure of the mechanics in this possible state. His ascendant body is harnessing the storm. He has to accept this energy or it will expand and destroy the cosmos, but he has to choose his future state, his future path he wants for himself. He has to choose his future state, different hymns that he wants to come true. Either a sage, a lord, soldier, savage, he has to choose. And that's when he chooses it, and that's like, look at this. He can see everything. Of course, since he's the hero, he does end up saving everybody from the God Storm. He has absurd cosmic awareness to the point where he can see everything. Oa sees all these different things. The Guardian. He's currently stronger than all our favorite heroes because they said he's touching the source. The source touches everything. The living, the dead, every universal force, every spark of magic, everything. He is the God Storm. The storm is him. He's at a power level like this, more than his ring could ever do. He gonna take advantage of this God power, he says, and not watch his people suffer. One of his main abilities before was being able to make constructs to get real big, but how about since he's ascended like this, he can just box you out this big, being gigantic. Stated he's accepted it. Whole new level of power. Heck, he looks like pure energy here. Heh. Where's Doomsday and stuff around when other characters get power-ups like this? I would have loved to see him fight Doomsday or something like this. I'm just playing. You know Doomsday would have got bodied by John Stewart when he's like this, right? That's just common sense. Of course, John is very selfless on trying to restore everything that had been messed up because he literally absorbed the God Storm, made himself dry until he was like almost nothing, looking like he's fading away. And it's implied later on he's going to do more ascendant stuff with this Green Lantern power, but it does seem like he gave up a lot of that God Storm to help everybody else. And it's like kind of like a temporary power, but he's still ascended. You know what I mean? When he was gigantic and stuff, fighting like big and stuff, that was like a temporary power, but he still has that ascended power, if that makes sense. Like, you notice how his look looks different. He has dark skin again, like normal skin color. He chose his future state on what he's going to be, like I mentioned already, helping others' rings reform and everything. He restored all that has been lost, but I'm pretty sure he's not Cosmic S no more, being able to see everything at the same time and stuff. But that stuff doesn't really matter. The future looks bright for him, considering he doesn't really need a ring no more to have superpowers. He's one of them beings where he just got powers now, ascended. So people can say, oh, what are they without his ring? He's literally everything without his ring, because he's ascended. But at the end of the day, all of this could be just me. Did you know Jon Stewart Ascendant was this crazy? What do you think the future holds for him? How far do you think the writers will go? Will they make him like equal to Superman when it comes to his base state? In his ascended state? You think that DC doesn't have the nuts to do that? I don't think DC's going to keep him on that level. He's definitely up there with him still, though. Powerhouse tier with Superman and Wonder Woman. At the very least, he absorbs the right energy. He can surpass them, if that makes sense. Do you respect him? What do you guys think? Do you like Jon Stewart? But before I get going, I gotta say thanks to the donations, everybody. It helps out a lot. Respect Jon Stewart, especially Ascended Jon Stewart. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other House Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.